Now, this is part of the University of Pretoria's High Performance Centre, South Africa's first elite one-stop training facility. Now, launched in 2002, it hosts the very best in sports technology to achieve top results. And here to tell me more about the centre is head biomechanist, Dr Helen Bayne. Helen, welcome.
Hi.
Now, the term professional sportsperson or man or woman didn't exist 20 years ago. You were a sportsperson, but you had a day job. These days, it's all about the job. You have to be fit, you have to be trained. How big a part does technology and centres like these fit into that?
Yeah, well, these days, if you want to compete at the top level, you can't afford to spend 9 to 5 at a day job and then try and fit your training and everything else that you need to look after around the side. So centres like these give the athletes the opportunity to dedicate their 24/7 to their sport, and they can look after their nutrition, their training, their technique, all in one centre. Technology-wise, the coaches need information on which to base their decisions. Gut feel can only get you so far. So the technology is there to provide data for the coaches, which they can use to inform their coaching decisions.
Let's talk a bit about the technology. I know it's all about angles. How does it actually work? I mean, do you record these athletes? How's that assessed? And what type of technology do you use to analyze the data?
Yeah, well, biomechanics is all about analysing movement. So probably the most simple and accessible form of technology we use is just video. And there's a number of ways in which we use that. So firstly, we might just want to give an athlete immediate visual feedback on maybe a technical correction during a training session. In that case, we might just use, for example, an iPad and an app like a Dartfish Express, where we can film the athletes, highlight a few corrections that they need to make, and then show it back to them straight away, and they can use that in how they correct their movement. Alternatively, if we wanting to give more objective, quantitative analysis, then we'll set up a specific session for that, and we'll probably use a high-speed video, so we can capture video at up to 250 frames per second, which is 10 times the speed of a normal video camera, and in particular in faster movements. That means that you don't miss the key moments of the movement.
So if you're like a bowler in cricket, you can see that exact angle before the ball goes over.
Yeah, exactly. Or the very point that the ball is released from the hand, or the very point that the foot lands on the floor. A tennis player, the moment of impact with the racket on the ball. Those types of things are very important to be able to capture. So we need that high-speed footage, and then we'll go away and do a little bit more of an in-depth analysis, again using software such as Dartfish, and give that feedback to the coach and the athlete to use.
Now, although the HPC is on the grounds of the University of Pretoria, you don't just train athletes, university athletes and school athletes. You have some Gauteng-based sporting teams that train here. Who do you look after? And let's talk about some of the star athletes, especially on your rower side.
Yeah, so we really work with anybody who's interested in improving their performance, from the weekend warrior runners up to Olympic medalists. And in between somewhere, we've also got our Tuck Sport High School, where we look after high school age athletes in their various sports. The elite performers, so the national rowing squad is based here, so we work with the entire squad, including the athletes who won the gold medal in London at the 2012 Olympics. We also host a national development program for junior women's football, so a lot of the Basetsana under 17 and under 20 ladies football players are based here and go to our school here. Track and field, we've got a number of stars including Aljeff and Sale, Cornel Fredericks, and some swimmers such as Karen Prinsloo. So really we cover a whole variety of sports in all our top elite international competitors.
And some superstars. And finally, as head biomechanist here, what are you most excited about in the sport right now, and in terms of what you do on a daily basis?
I think biomechanics is a really small field within sports science in South Africa, but we've, at the High Performance Centre at the University of Pretoria, made a commitment to try and grow that into a bigger field for sports science. And this is the first stage of it, really, my starting to work here and working more and more with athletes and coaches, and we're looking forward to more investment in technology that'll help our athletes even more going forward.
Well, we look forward to watching your progress and also see which stars you hunt out here. Helen, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Now, in an ongoing effort to stamp out sporting contraband, the South African Institute for Drug-Free Sport has launched an innovative app giving both professional and amateur athletes, as well as doctors, access to the most updated drug information. This is to ensure they're not mistakenly consumed, and it all comes down to the touch of a button.